It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. In the news, the Boys and Girls Club in Hospice, South Georgia put on Wayne's Got Talent event Thursday night at the K. Cagle Theater. Great show, great crowd, 10 great acts. Sean O'Quinn did a terrific job as the MC. The Blues Brothers returned after a 20-year hiatus, and Dale Baines did some comedy and a magic trick. Night filled with fun and entertainment. Here are your winners. People's Choice Award went to Alyssa Johnson, a junior at Wayne County High School. She performed a dance routine. Third place to Crystal Keith, who sang How Great Thou Art. Second place, Braxton Westbury, who sang and played the piano. And the winner of the first ever Wayne's Got Talent show is 14-year-old freshman at Wayne County High School, Bailey Bryant. After the announcement, we had a chance to talk with the winner, Bailey Bryant.
Bailey Bryant, we're the first Wayne's Got Talent. Bailey, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, everybody else was so good. I didn't think I'd place. I want to thank my dad, my family, David Bowie, and the band Queen. Thank you.
Well, for those who weren't here, tell us what you sang.
I sang I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James.
And who's your coach? They mentioned your coach.
Rachel Tillman.
And tell us about your family, your parents.
My mom, she's lovely. I'm so happy to have her as my mother.
And
I have
name?
Larissa Bryant.
Okay.
And I have my dad, Dallas Bryant. His parents are Patty Bryant and Kenny Bryant. And my Mimi is Carol Cooler on my mom's side. And my late grandfather, Robert Cooler. And I have my extra stepdad, Michael Relier, and I love him very much.
How old are you?
Just 14.
And how long you been singing?
Since I was 3, but I've never done it professionally.
Well, I tell you, Sean said you were nervous, but you didn't look like you're nervous.
But because whenever I get on stage, I just feel so much better. But for all the people the weird people out there listening to this, if you are, just remember, do what you want to do, live how you want to live, love what you want to love, and just be you, because there's no other thing that you can do than be you. That's the most amazing thing you can be.
A great message, and again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And once again, that's your winner of the Wayne's Got Talent show last night. Again, 14-year-old Bailey Bryant, a freshman at Wayne County High School. The big winner, of course, Hospice, South Georgia, and the Boys and Girls Club, as the money raised last night goes to those two organizations. $5,700 for the loan was raised in the People's Choice voting. Our congratulations to the winners again. People are already talking about next year's event. Again, a tremendous crowd, a great talent show Thursday night at the K. Cagle Theater here in Jesup. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, we received the press release from the Jesup Police Department on that accident which occurred at Kobe's Restaurant on Wednesday. Officers from the Jesup PD responded to a report of a single vehicle crash involving a pedestrian at 967 South 1st Street, specifically at Kobe's Restaurant. Preliminary investigators revealed that a beige Toyota Avalon driven by an elderly female, age 92, accelerated out of a parking space, struck a concrete piling, and then proceeded through the front wall of the restaurant. The vehicle impacted a female patron who was seated at a table inside. Injured pedestrian was promptly transported to Wayne Memorial Hospital by Wayne County EMS, where she's being treated for visible injuries. Driver of the vehicle was taken to the same hospital by family members, expressing concerns about her own injuries. Jesup PD urges anyone with additional information regarding the incident to contact Sergeant Jason Dixon with the Jesup ACE team at 912-427-1300. Case of the state of Georgia versus Landis Paul Brown began Monday in courtroom C, with jury selection ended Wednesday afternoon with a guilty verdict, and Superior Court Judge Anthony Harrison sentencing Brown to 25 years, with the first 15 to be served in prison, as the Wayne County jury deliberated for several hours on Wednesday before finding Brown guilty of voluntary manslaughter and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. Brown shot and killed Zachary Johnson back on February 3rd, 2023 at the 800 block of Community Circle in a tiny shed in the backyard. Brown had been on a 3-day meth binge and arrived at the shed and began smoking meth with friends in the shed. Zachary Johnson arrived shortly afterwards. That's when trouble began, as the two had a history. Once had a fight in the Wayne County jail, and the two men simply did not like each other. Brown claimed that Johnson came into the shed, walked up to him and hit him, and demanded that Brown hand over a pistol that Brown had. Brown refused to give the pistol up, saying Johnson would not allow him to leave the shed, which he said he attempted to do more than once. Brown says Johnson lunged at him with a hammer in hand and he shot Zachary Johnson in self-defense. Assistant DA Elizabeth Presley, who presented the case for the state, told the jury that Brown simply lied and that the physical evidence in the case simply did not coincide with his story. She said that Brown was not justified in shooting and killing Johnson and asked for guilty verdicts, which she received from that Wayne County jury. Before sentencing Brown, Superior Court Judge Anthony Harrison told Brown that under Georgia law that he has to be punished for taking a man's life. He told Brown that he hopes that he'll be able to turn his life around, but that he put himself in this situation by being addicted to meth and shooting and killing a man. Once again, the sentence 25 years with the first 15 to be served in prison. Also in Wednesday, Courtroom B, a domestic case in which the person did not like the ruling of the judge, Carla Powell from Hazelhurst, Georgia. Shantae Monique Curry went after the judge, trying to get to the judge, throwing a microphone at the judge, throwing her shoe at the judge, went towards the judge, but fortunately a bailiff stepped in between her and the judge. Curry hit the bailiff with her fist. Curry is in jail, charged with aggravated assault, disorderly conduct, to name a few charges. And all this took place in Courtroom B Wednesday afternoon. Fortunately, the bailiff okay, the judge not harmed, but a wild scene in Courtroom B. Shantae Monique Curry, again, going after the judge and throwing both her shoe and the microphone at the judge. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes and news reminder: on Thursday, September 5th, Wayne County School System's former CFO and soon-to-be interim school superintendent Tony Williams is going to be our special guest on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. WIFO-FM recently received a copy of her report that she delivered to the Wayne County School Board at a work session, and she was hired by the Board of the Education for the purpose of reviewing their financials over the past several years. WIFO-FM had to file an open records request to get the copy. We've been reviewing it and bringing some of its findings to our listening audience, again suggesting that anyone interested in the Wayne County School System should get a copy of this report and look it over. Here's just another portion of what her report reveals under the heading of local, state, and federal compliance, timeliness of reporting. She writes, completion of reports not being submitted to the Department of Education by the deadline. Since fiscal year 21, there have been 22 completion reports submitted after the Department of Education established deadline. Budgets not submitted in consolidated application in a timely manner. Under local, state, and federal compliance, 4 years were closed with school activity accounts being out of balance, annual school activity reviews not being performed as required, all funds not being reported to the Board of Education on a monthly basis as required by law. Financial reports presented to the board do not reflect a true picture of the monthly expenditures. Chart of accounts not being implemented properly. Incorrect funding codes being used for ROTC and family connections. Incorrect program codes being used in consolidation funds. Debt service fund closed with a negative fund balance. Capital assets are not being updated on the ledger properly. Again, this is just a small portion of Tony Williams' report to the Wayne County Board of Education that was presented to them in a work session, which led to that day to an executive session in which the former school superintendent was asked to leave the session, and following day a call meeting was called and the board and superintendent agreed to part ways. This report is damaging, does not name names, but points to others working for the school system who simply dropped the ball in their responsibilities. Once again, Tony Williams joins us Thursday, September 5th on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, and we'll continue to bring you more of this report here on the local news. Chamber of Commerce has an event coming up on September the 5th at Coastal Pines Technical College entitled Brew and Build, Creating Success for Your Business One Cup at a Time, tailored for small businesses. The session takes place September the 5th from 8:30 to 10 a.m. Once again at Coastal Pines College. Cost for members $15, for non-members $30. Chamber again asking to register by today. Call the Chamber at 912-427-2028. And that'll do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, have a great day.